Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is our second chat. I'll be covering modules 4, 5, and 6 for 610 PHE. So for module 4, which is coming up pretty quickly, this module introduces the best practices for managing human resources internally and optimizing social capital externally, and how professional collaboration can help support the workforce. In addition, it focuses on how public health policy and advocacy take an understanding of the internal and external stakeholders. For module 4, you have an assignment. It's a short paper. There's actually 2 assignments. So the short paper is on policy making and advocacy. So for this short paper, you write a brief 2 to 4 page paper discussing the various key factors that impact public health policymaking process and legislative testimony. In this short paper assignment, you will begin to access the role that public health leaders and various stakeholders play in creating and promoting policy. You will also begin to build skills to identify the different types of power various stakeholders have at the local, state, and national levels, and identify influences of the research and evaluation on the policy process. After considering the best practices for legislative testimony, you create a one-page fact sheet or opinion editorial to be part of the advocacy product. You also need to complete a worksheet and a reading paper. So let's take a look at the assignments samples so that you can get a better idea of what is expected. Okay, so this is a sample of the fact sheet that you would need to do. This example discusses maternal mortality in the United States. So a fact sheet should have some data regarding whatever topic you choose. Again, like I said, this is for high maternal mortality in the United States. So this is what your fact sheet should look like. There's various other examples on the internet. In terms of your paper, or your worksheet, I should say, this is what your worksheet should look like. So you're going to have a worksheet, you're going to have a fact sheet, and you're going to have a paper. So this is what the worksheet looks like. You should fill out the information as required to get full credit. And then in terms of the paper itself, you have this that you can see here. This is the paper. Key factors, impacts, role of public health leaders in this is on public health policymaking. I posted examples of this in the classroom so you can take a look to see what they look like and get a better understanding of the assignment. So for week 4, not only do you have these 3 assignments, but you also have a professional collaboration, which is you need to write a paper on how you collaborated with a specific individual, be it a health educator, a public health official, etc. And you'll submit a consent form as well as an infographic. Communications directors, marketing experts, art directors, nurses, doctors, these are people you can collaborate with. Examples of advocacy and professional collaboration as relates to infographic, meeting with a member of Congress, advocating on obesity reduction, addressing STDs in the local community. I also placed examples of what your infographic should look like in the classroom, but I also have one here, and this is an example, reducing childhood obesity. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Remember, there's 4.1 and there's 4.2, and there's various assignments that you need to complete for 4.1. Just to recap, you need a short paper, a worksheet, and a fact sheet, which I showed you. and then you need a written paper and an infographic, as well as a consent from your professional collaborator for 4.2. So there's basically a total of 6 submissions that you'll be making in Module 4. Module 5, you consider the role of communication as it pertains to the success of program planning. Communication among stakeholders is a top priority for public health managers. The communication plan can result in a program being successful, not successful, and every iteration therein. In this module, you learn standard communication practices used by public health leaders. There's a reflection journal on week 5. For this assignment, you choose an emerging healthcare issue or trend of your choice, and it can even be an issue you identify as part of your projects. Summarize the trend, explain how healthcare or public health professionals have developed strategies and respond to the issue. Discuss how the strategies have been informed by evidence-based practices or advances in technology. How would you change the strategy as a result of your analysis? Make at least one recommendation to healthcare or public health professionals that is informed by your analysis. Include personal reflection and make connections to your own experiences as noted in the rubric. This reflection will help you prepare for the next assignment, which is milestone 2, as well as milestone 3, which is due in module 7. Milestone 2 will be due in module 5. The key thing for this is choose something that you're comfortable talking about, and there's a rubric that you can look at and guidelines to get some more information. So final project 2, you need to determine a public health issue, whether it's lead contamination, mercury contamination, PFAS contamination, or whatever the case. You have to identify the vulnerable population and the approach that's being used to attack this problem or to deal with this problem. Module 6, you'll learn how to apply systems thinking techniques to optimize the structure of a program. These approaches will be framed in terms of public health program style of policy making. There's a discussion board for Module 6. For your initial discussion post, you look at the Erie County, New York opioid epidemic, which is a big crisis in the US. There's a case study, chapter 22 of your textbook. In 2 or 3 paragraphs, discuss the effectiveness of strategies employed by the Erie County Department of Public Health. Be sure to specifically address the following prompts. Discuss the truth of the following statement as it relates to this case study. So it's policy evaluation, which task force and interventions were key to reduce opioid epidemics in Erie County. How important was it for stakeholders to be involved? How can a task sustain achievements beyond success in preventing opioid epidemic? You can take a look at discussion board rubric, which is in the classroom, Brightspace, to get a better idea of what the expectations are and how you can meet those expectations. Obviously, make sure you make peer responses and use APA citations as needed. So that concludes this chat. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you. Have a good weekend and a good week.